up on YouTube. Hopefully I've got the right screen selected this time. Sorry about that yesterday. There we go. We are live. Okay, so one thing to look at with Apple, and I was kind of looking into this earlier, and there was some discussion about this in the chat. Bud, you gotta quit that. So we had some discussions going on in the chat about the H pattern, and some dude was like selling a course for like $10,000 to teach people about this pattern or whatever the hell that was about. I don't know. There's a lot of people who've made money off of dumb crap before, but you know what? I don't knock them because they're smarter than me. They made money doing nothing. you know.
Yeah.
Effectively, I'm looking at that H pattern right here on Apple. Look, big old decline, there's your H. So look for support right around 164, 165, and a bounce out for a retrace to like 167, 167.50-ish. Trying to trade that with options on earnings day, forget it. Unless you're going to wait for a big spike in price and then sell a covered call outside of price, I'm not going to be able to mess with that with
Yes,
options
went
today.
long on RTY, damn it.
However, you can roll some leaps. You can sell some credit spreads deep in the money, do all that sort of stuff with Apple, and probably get $5 wides for like $2 risk, which would be incredible. But one thing I have noticed with Apple is it made a beautiful bullish measured move. There's your second leg here. We've rejected right at the top of the second leg, so price target met 171. Bam. Now we're coming back to a key pivot area of 165.50. And if Apple has a great earnings outcome, we could see it hit like 192 into the third leg of a big ass measured move. Or if it has a crappy earnings, we could go all the way down to 148. So that's some extreme range, right? So if you look
Right?
at debit spreads in that area, down here for puts, up here for calls, they're not all that bad. So you could go into $5 wides in those areas and actually do fairly well. So I might be able to pull that off probably in the middle of the day today when implied volatility falls off a bit. If SPY ever finds a support zone somewhere. But in the meantime, if you're holding a position on Apple and you want to sell a covered call, you're going to look at probably a 190 strike would be pretty expensive for just selling that strike with a couple weeks out. Let me see if I can look into that real quick. It would have been better to sell it yesterday, but you know. Let's see, June 2nd. It's only like 30 cents at most. Well, 16 cents on June 2nd. That puts me into a really cheap $5 wide, though. You could get the 190, 195 for like 7 cents now, probably 4 or 5 cents later today. June 2nd expiration. That puts us right in the threshold on the bullish measured move. And then let me check the put side. So we're looking at what, 145 for the put side? That's where the money is, because you're looking at 94 cents for 145 and 62 cents for 140. You'd probably have to go down the chain a little bit further and look at the 130, 125 and go for percentage swing, but those are still overpriced. They're going to get evaporated quick after earnings. So if you can find a $5 wide for like 6 cents or less on the risk side, you might be able to run a condor on that. And if Apple has an extreme one way or the other, you can profit on that. Other than that, I'm not going to even try to go closer to the money without much risk. So I don't want to go and risk, anything more than 10 cents in a $5 wide spread. That's just my MO. That doesn't mean you don't have to. So like you could look at another zone between 155 and 160 on the put side and 180, 185 on the call side for all that matters. And you don't need as much time on it, but I like to go at least a month out on something like that because I want time for price to wiggle and trend. So if I'm right, I can make some better adjustments to it later. So the 140, 145 right now is currently running about a 30-cent spread on the put side, which isn't terrible for a $5 wide spread. You're a lot closer to the money. You've got a better chance of making a profit on that. But if Apple stays sideways and has a muted earnings, you're going to lose your ass on that. Same with the call side. If you're looking at that range up there around the 180, 185 zone, you're looking at like a 22-cent risk on a $5 wide in that. You could live with that, but it's like I said, if that gets cut in half and you got size on that, you're screwed. But if Apple makes a big move, it starts going past that range, you could do very well with that. So certainly watch that towards the middle of the day when implied volatility tends to be a bit lower, and you might get some decent range out of that to be able to lock in a condor. And that's the whole point, is if you want to lock in a neutral position, that's kind of the way you look to do it.
Oh boy, I caught that low and I'm long.
Nice work. Yep, right around 404, 405.
I took profits. I don't trust it.
That's
After
that
getting my
diamond.
ass burnt the other day on the, sorry, my butt burnt the other day on the long when we were ripping down.
You did good. That's a one leg measured move. Wait for the pullback and you might get the second leg. Let me adjust some lines in here real quick.
I'm happy with that in that account. I met my daily quota. Moving on to the next beast to slay.
There you go. Nice work. So we're coming up to resistance point. This can be a second leg through here. This is kind of weird how it skews between the 5-second and the 30-second, but I'll adjust it. And I'll probably go and run out of lines eventually here, so I'll go and delete all the stuff from yesterday and run new stuff.
Run out of lines.
Yeah. That was probably a phrase that was more heard in the 70s, you know what I mean?
Right? Okay.
I used to, when we were doing the chart nasty thing, we used to say, man, that chart's got more lines than a 70s coffee table mirror.
Right?
Or 70s mirrored coffee table, yeah, something like that.
You're dating yourself.
Yeah, totally. I wasn't born until 78, so that's kind of off my stuff, but yeah. I remember a lot of reruns. I remember seeing a lot of stuff about a lot of the things that happened in the 70s.
Watched that 70s show. I know all about that.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they messed with anything other than the powerful herbs, so to speak, the organic stuff in the 70s show. But yeah, but you know what's going on. People loved to party in the 70s.
Yes, they did.
All right. So far, we're respecting that angular on that diamond. Like I said, if that snaps and fails, cool. We can omit the diamond and just go for a quick blow-off top, because that's what that is. This is a far right reach of a triple top. It blew past resistance, rejected hard at the top, made a full measured move down. Nothing stopping this from breaking the floor. So there's a key pivot here at about 403.50. That's crucial. If it smokes that, dude, it'll definitely go retrace this trend. But for now, we're kind of hovering around the angular on that diamond. So these diamonds have been very, very reliable for every FOMC except for this one. But the FOMC is in the middle of this diamond. So, well, on the compression side of the diamond, just after the middle. Nonetheless, this has been a godsend to figure out. And like I said, every FOMC up until this one, starting from the beginning of last year, was perfect for defining range of what the expected outcome was on price action. But now we're kind of, the more we talked about it, the more the price action kind of evolved. So now we're looking at hanging on for dear life at support. Sweet, we got a 1 minute Wu-Tang. We're looking for a push up to liquidity. So look at 405.60, 405.80 for target here.
Oh, tried to get in there long. It didn't take me.
And it comes a leg up. Now this leg will stop probably right at 405.80 because look at the pullback. The pullback was more than 50% of the first leg. Boom, there we go.
Got 3 ticks out of that.
Nice.
Damn it, man. It didn't take my second contract.
No.
Love it when I'm right but wrong.
I think what I might do is wait till tomorrow to reset that account so I can start it on a Monday. Probably the way to go.
Resetting it though, no, you don't want to do that.
No?
Because you need all the days. Because a reset doesn't give you, you know what? I have only reset a handful of accounts because I don't normally do that. Resetting does not give you, yeah, I'm correct about this. It does not give you any more days. So whatever day you opened that account, you have only 30 days in that.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you still have, you'll be rebilled at your regular 30-day interval.
Right. So it'll reset in 30 days all by itself anyway.
Renew, not reset.
Oh, yeah, renew.
Right? So if you want to try to pass it before the next renewal date, which is always good, you want to reset immediately and give yourself the maximum number of days in this month to pass
Right.
it. So waiting to reset is not a good plan.
Gotcha.
Even if all you do is just take one trade, so it can't, just like I had that, I've got to now trade an extra 5 days because I didn't get that. All I had to do was take one trade last Thursday and I would have met my minimum number of trading days.
Look at that Wu-Tang bounce right into liquidity. All right, we're in the zone now. Look at the control bar here. So target for this push will be about 406.40. We've achieved 406.20. We're testing support. Last reach will go to 406.40, which is right up here. So I'm going to have to go back and adjust these fan lines to today. So I'm going to do that real quick while we're waiting for that push. Chart nasty. I'm just going to wipe all these off. Bang. It's not like an Etch-a-Sketch where you can just shake the damn thing.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh man, just shake my monitor and watch the lines come off. Hit that. That's something that should be invented, guys.
For real.
An app that has, I guess that would be accelerometers built into the monitor, and then when you shake the monitor, it deletes your lines. That'd be cool. Call it the trader's monitor. I'm being silly. If someone wants to get serious about that, you know, sillier things have made millions.
That's true.
You can have
I
that
tried to
idea.
get in
It's all yours.
long.
Give me 1% of your yield and I'm happy.
There we go. Lift, lift, lift.
And keep an eye on this regression line because if we start to threaten it, if you're long.
Yeah, I had my protective stop in. I got stopped out.
Can you explain how you're drawing those?
So for regression lines, all I really need to do is find the nearest consolidation point and then find ideas where it can interact with other price actions. So here we had a touch twice here. We have a touch here, a touch here, a touch here. So laying this line was 1. The second line, you lay it any influence here. You got touch here, you've got a consolidation here, run through it. And then once you have your first 2 lines, just bisect them with a regression line and you have a price channel. So
Okay, I saw the top one. I didn't see the bottom ones.
right. And the way where they intersect is the weird part. So like I've been calling them fan lines, but realistically they should be called a shaft line. But they converge at weird places. Sometimes they'll converge in space between the accumulation. And the idea is that it doesn't matter where they converge. Once you have divergence and you can identify a price channel, you can bisect it, find a regression line at any point in price action on a short-term chart, and you can pick off all your price targets. And then once you've established the route, you can subdivide it over and over and over again to find your one-for-one measured moves all day long. So like here, we could put a subdivision right in here and find a halfway point between regression and angular support. And if this is going to make a bearish one-for-one, you'll get leg one here, a breach, and leg two. Very typically.
Struggling to get any legs under this.
So here is leg one, even though it's just kind of a rolling arch. There's your accumulation, there's your break, leg two done. So the beauty of these is it gives you an opportunity to identify measured moves with fairly good accuracy. Like really good accuracy. So I know if it continues to run for a second leg, it'll run down to this guy. If it bounces here, it'll run back up to this guy. The moving averages kind of play a role in this too, where you can say, okay, well, can we trust the breakout? Well, yeah, we're on top of the 8 period, so trend is threatening to reverse here. That's your moving support line. And then the 20 period is where you can see your convergence divergence of just 2 moving averages. So you can say, okay, the trend is building strength here as it crosses the 20 period. And if the 8 crosses the 20 period, we can believe in finishing that move.
And these are just short-term trends, like on a 5-second chart.
Right. Yeah, this whole time frame is a 5-second. And we can go and trade the 5-second with correlation to the 1 minute and the 5 minute. So we can see our long-term patterns. So like, okay, we've made a bottom here. We've got most of a 3-bar out of the way. It wicked it, but it didn't hold. So we're likely to come back here to the support one more time and create a bigger double bottom. The 1 minute chart gave us a quick Wu-Tang play where you got a low one, a higher low. You've got your resistance here, barred through it, nailed almost to target one, which is this control bar here. Rejected and pulled back to support. So this first resistance also acts as support as price comes back to meet it, test it. So you can see we got a couple dojis sitting on it. So if this breaks, we'll expect it to go back down to the bottom support. We can probably set a pivot line here on the first low or second low as well. It's just a matter of predicting, using what happened before to predict what's likely to happen next. So we're holding that support area. We're looking for 50% of this trend here. That's that bar there. Done. We bounced off this fan line the same way. There's your target. So it's correlating time to put things in context of what you're trading. And if you're trading a 5-second chart, you're going to look here to figure out what's happened on a 1 minute chart to take your positions. Yesterday I was trading a 1-second chart in the futures while watching a 30-second chart for my confluences of price action. So I was able to find all my routes looking at the 30-second chart and trading the 1-second chart on futures. And I was just cranking out.
It reminds me of like a Fibonacci fan.
Right.
Sort of. Yeah.
It kind of looks similar to a Fibonacci fan, but it doesn't have the same percentages in the output waves. Or if you were comparing Fib to Elliott waves, how they're kind of similar. This kind of doesn't define either, but it gives you kind of an easier way to see the difference between the two, or see the convergence between the two. Because realistically, you're seeing measured moves over and over and over again. So like the market loves to move 1 for 1. So like you got, a base here, a channel here, you got one, it did it again, right? And then it pulled back. Every price action you see, whether it's on a 1-second chart, a 5-second chart, 30-second chart, you'll see the trend usually repeats its own size over and over again, and sometimes it'll break and do double size. So you get a 1 for 1 or a 2 for 1, almost always. So with these fan lines, they give you an idea of where to expect convergence or consolidation and where to expect your 1 for 1 move on a 5-second chart. So here was one move, here was your second move, 1 for 1.
Thanks a lot. That's really helpful.
No problem. Yeah, if you're a quick day trader, man, this is like gold. Because you can be really nimble with this, and you can do the same thing on a 1-minute chart. You know, you got to find your route though. We'll probably need a little bit more price action before we can play it out, but we'll have one line here. So we can start with the opening high, run that down here. So there's one. We'll wait and see what it does with the rest of this before we add 2, but 2 is likely going to be here. So now that we have 2 lines, we have divergence on the output side, but price is kind of hanging around here, so we don't have a true lower line just yet. You know, it could end up being something like this. So you got a touch here, a touch here, a touch on the base of a control bar. The output side could be here, and then you just run your division line in the middle. So as time goes on, we'll find where the true route is, and once we have a route, all we got to do is trade the divergence or the output side of that, 1 for 1 all day long. All right, here we have a leg. We have some consolidation. We have a short-term resistance right here at about 405.80, and there's your leg. Expected move is up here, 406. That's 2 points on the ES. Even got an extension to 405. Sorry, I meant 406. 405.80 was support. All right, AMD, nice swing. I could probably find a better condor on AMD than I can on Apple today as far as risk management goes. So we got within 3 cents of that 406 target and a wick. So this leg was done. That's where you made your exit. Run it down. Leg 1, leg 2 expects 405.45 for target. And if you go down from 405.75 or 405.70, if you caught the break, that's 3 points. We at least got 2 down to 405.50. And over time, if you can find these setups and trade them quick enough on the ES, you can add up a ton of base hits. You can get those 2 and 3 pointers all day long.
Where would you identify your stops off those?
For those, you almost don't get a stop if you're trading that fast. You can try, unless you can catch a trend. Running a stop on that is going to be just mental. You're going to have to hover over the button. If you identify a trend, like if you got, into this, you can just run a trailing stop, probably 2 points behind and be okay. Well, 2 to 3 points behind. Here in this chop where it's going sideways, if you try to trade a stop with that, or a trailing stop, it'll beat you up. It'll take you out and then rip the other way over and over and over again, because you'd have to run a 2-point stop to do that. So if you have a trend day, certainly you can run a trailing stop and ride the trend, enter entry after entry. But if you're having a sideways movement or accumulation that's taken too long, running a stop is just going to beat you up.
But if you're getting a 2-point move, then you want to stop out at 1 point, right? For a 2 to 1.
If you're going to try and do it with a stop, say you were wrong, yeah. But you're going to basically be doing it mentally. You're going to be hovering over that cancel and close your position button. So if you're looking and you're on the right side of it, you'll be doing the same thing. So you'd be like, okay, well, I've got my 1 pointer, I've got my 2 points, I can take profit here and reset, and then just wait for the next setup.
Yeah, I'm not that fast.
It takes a minute to build that skill. Not everybody's going to be that fast. What you can also do with it, though, is you can use this information to get a better entry on a trend. So like if you're expecting this to break out a bullish 1-for-1 back into liquidity here and to approach the opening high, and I'm not expecting to be bullish, I'm expecting to come back and test support again at the moment, but if you were to expect it, you could find the tag on support and catch the bottom of the trend a little more effectively than you could on a 1-minute chart. So you could catch the part of that 1-minute candle that you want best and then ride a trend reversal or a trend extension or a longer term 1-for-1.
Good morning, guys.
Morning. So this is running a bit of a range expansion here, so I'm going to let this shake out. This is kind of looking like it could be setting up for convergence probably up to about 10:15 before we get a quick breakout. And it'll either break out or break down. So far, these two trend lines are kind of holding, or these two fan lines or shaft lines, if you want to call them that. So if we build on that, this would be our expected regression line right here. Boom, there's your break. A little earlier than we expected. So if we get a 1-for-1, this is your first leg. Expect accumulation here, and if we break back through here, second leg would push us for a target of 406.20. Rejection would come back to support. That's going to be 405.40. Boom. So we had a quick rip up, failed breakout. Let me get a 5-minute going up here. Kind of hanging on the support from that diamond pattern here. Looks like it wants to test it one more time. A break will give us a bearish measured move. Make sure I got the drawing tool out before I hit that button. So if you take your bearish measured move, build a box, this is your expected leg. Put that box down here, you get your target. So bearish measured move would be 403.85. Hopefully we don't break this support, but if we do, that's the expected move. Apple's starting to show some strength here, so let's get zoomed in on that. Man, that is choppy. Let me show you if you haven't been watching. With Apple, I threw a daily measured move box up. It met that to the penny almost. A little bit of an overshoot. I had 170.90, it went to 170.92. Close enough. So we got leg 1, accumulation, leg 2 done. If we go for a 3-leg bullish measured move, we got target way up here. Go for a bearish measured move, we got a target down here. And then it helps if your chart isn't dirty enough yet, split the difference so you can get a half measured move. So like we have about half of this would be 159-ish. Doesn't have to be dead on. You just have to have a division. And 180, 150 would be the upper side, half a box. So on any time frame you can draw these boxes and figure out where your measured move is expected to go for leg 1 and leg 2. And you can get all the pullback information. You can get pullback for half of this trend or the entire trend. If it breaks support here, you can split this box and have a support leg down here. You can divide just about any measured move typically by half. So since we're kind of appealing to this pivot today, we're going to mark this pivot a different color. So it'll stand out. We know about where we are, because when we zoom in, all we see is gray. It's one big ass box, right? So if we break this resistance line right here at 165.60, we can start getting bullish and retrace yesterday's leg down. So then we have a target line straight into this confluence right here. So we got consolidation. Mark that out about 167.50-ish. Would be a good day trade target. You got a double bottom. If it breaks this resistance, it's likely to resume that. You can see that pivot had a reaction right here in the after hours anyway. It also became a resistance point. We've knocked on it twice in the after hours and pre-market. We're at the third knock now. Almost every time I've seen any kind of channel on the market, 3 knocks will usually have a break. If not, you get a 3, a 5, and a 7. So if you want to do Elliott waves or fib levels, it's always going to be 3s, 5s, and 7s. So we'll see if it breaks this. That tweezer doesn't say I'm gonna break it. It says typically a short-term reversal, but
Like it's going for it.
yeah, we're going right back down to the support line on SPY here. So is it gonna smoke it or is it gonna hold it? There's another subline right here. As time goes on and these divergences get wider and wider, just subdivide them over and over and over again. You'll spot your measured moves over and over and over again. So this leg here, if we make a third leg, target's down here. And we've broke the bottom of the diamond pattern here. So where's the next support level? Whoops, took apart my diamond. So when we have a divergence output on a diamond pattern, kind of the same thing. Price doesn't usually stay in that zone on divergence of any of the trend lines from the diamond for long. Typically, like when we have a break on the output side and it's in the middle, it doesn't want to stay there long. It'll either go up to the angular resistance of the upper channel or the angular support of the lower channel. Here we have a divergence between angular support from both sides. So usually price won't stay there long. So if it comes down and dips out of here, it's okay. But at least we have a target. So about 403.25 on the daily. Zoom in, and it's skewed. So we got
My
402.75.
slide puts are just volunteering to close. I love it.
Nice. But check this out. We broke our support. Made a big old tweezer bottom. That was a hell of a fake out. It found liquidity right in this measured move box. Didn't even hit the bottom of it. But look, fan line was dead on. What a bounce, right? Well, I might get up and grab a cup of coffee in a minute, but I think there's something that's coming out at 10:30. Let me get into the old MoneyNet machine and see where we're at.
Money Man,
Hey, hey.
good morning.
Good morning.
That was a beautiful break on that pennant right there. And now we just retrace it
Yes, sir.
all the way back in. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Dude, look how cool these fan lines are, dude. Boop, 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 bop. One for ones all over the place.
No, we're not done to the downside, but we might rip right on up for a little while and trap some bears.
Yep, I'm
Believe it or not,
I'm
I've been
willing.
wrong on every one of my, well, not every one of them, but
Yeah, I did the counter trending right there when
yep.
we hit the 40.73. I took it up to 40.85, 84, something. And then I set out waiting for this pennant to form.
Oh, man. I'm doing it.
70,000 contracts. 70,000 contracts were traded on that wick right there.
Wow.
Yep.
With 8 of them.
We double top on the contracts.
Back down.
Well, I'm in a bit of a fight with Mother Nature, so I'm going to get up and let some coffee out. I'll be right back.
Go do it. Hmm.
Volume double top. Look at that.
I'm having a good day. I probably should just leave.
I'm halfway through getting my account funded.
Yay. You recovered?
Oh yeah, I'm way up on profits now.
Oh, good.
I'm just a few bucks from reaching my goal.
Well, then just nurse it. Take one trade a day.
I learned that the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be back.
One that's over its mark by $300, but I still have 4 more days I have to trade it. Four more days.
Good luck.
I just do one MES trade a day and in and out. No, two.
So with Apex, what broker do you have to use?
I use Rhythmic Data with Apex. And
Because
here's my platform. I use Sierra Chart.
I'm in Canada, so I'm very limited.
I think they trade in Canada. You can use Apex.
I believe so, yes, but I think I would have to change my broker.
No, you just trade through Apex. It has nothing to do with your broker.
Oh,
Now,
really?
you might have to. What platform do you use?
I use TradingView. How would I connect Apex to TradingView? I don't think that's possible, is it?
Well, it's Rhythmic Data or Tradeovate Data. Oh, you guys use all these different things that I'm not familiar with. Oh, we're gonna break our lows. I know we have Canadians that Let me get in my other group here. See if I can do some.
No, Nikki in our group, she's from Canada as well. She just messaged that you can.
I'm sure of it. I just don't know if you can, how, I should say how you're, I
I think
just use
she's
Rhythmic. Does she use Rhythmic?
she's typing out something right now. She's gonna respond right now in the chat.
Excellent.
How much is Rhythmic data?
It's included in your
Your
eval.
Apex. In my Apex?
Yeah. Your
And
A,
how much-
your Apex eval fee includes your data.
Do you know the packages? Or I don't know any of that. I went under just briefly.
If
There
you're
was
gonna, okay, so if you're gonna use depth of market and you want more, then do you think you have to pay a little bit more if you don't already? I pay for data separate because I use Sierra Charts and I use their data at Denali. And so I don't ever pay any extra with the evals because I'm not using their data except for the uh, orders, you know what I mean? It goes through Rhythmic to place the orders, but my charts, I'm looking using Sierra Charts and Denali data. Does that make sense?
kind of, yes.
All right, I'm back. What I miss? Apple rejecting that pivot. Coming back down. Watch for the 1 minute 200 to hold support. And again, same price action. Leg, accumulation, leg, right? Now we're coming back for a retracement. 50% of this entire trend, right at the 200 period. Expect a little price action here. Looks like SPY's going to resume and go for the bottom of that box after all. So we're looking at a 403.85 target. And for the ES, that puts us at, let me see here, 40.62. Huh, what do we have here? Retracement of the previous leg. Okay. Not quite ready to put a division line in here, but it is there. Came up, tagged it, come back down. You can get a quick double bottom for a push back up to resistance up here out of something like this. This is what it's looking like. So if it breaks through this guy, watch for a quick push up here to 404.60 for a quick bull scalp, or you can wait for a rejection up here and go short. Since the trend has been generally short for the past couple of licks. If you want to trade on one side of the trend, it's probably the best bet is wait for the rejection and go short. The only thing is we're down near the bottom of our expected measured move from our first leg. Consolidation break of support to the bottom box.
Hey, Jeremy, look at the hourly. We have an island right there. And we just now we haven't touched the 458 area
yeah.
yet. I'm looking at 458.
458
Yeah, looking at 458, 458,
on
and
SPY?
then all the way down to 4007.
Oh.
And I say 4,007 because if you look at the hourly, see this head and shoulder?
Right.
Yeah. So we had that smaller head and shoulder. Now we got a bigger head and shoulder here.
It has the look of the blow off top where you got the what started out as a triple top, dipped down, broke support, and then ripped up a full measured move above the center line, and then broke over. But we're still kind of teasing the angular support in two parts of that diamond, so we can set that up as a new critical support zone. So let me go to a 4-hour chart.
Yeah, we broke beautifully that. The trend we had, so.
So
Sorry.
that's okay. Let me set up the key support area here real quick. Blow this up so I can see it better. There we go. Damn, you're not going to stop on 40250, but close enough. Make that orange. I'm going to lock that damn thing so I don't drag it all over the place. So if you look at this as support, it's at the base output side angular support of the expansion side of the diamond here. It kind of converges right at that point. So if we break 40250, the rest of that island would break us in this gap here, and we probably hit, you know, $400.50. So you're right. That is on the map. So this is going to be a critical point on SPY. If it gets below 40250 here, we got problems. It'll go down much further. But we've already hit the base of this head and shoulders pattern here. So we got, you know, you run up, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, break, retraced all of this trend, and we're hanging right in the area here. So if you go straight out from here, this little morning star here lines right up. So if we don't bounce here, we can expect that move, but we can bounce here. So oops. And look, dude, that measured move, nailed it. So yeah, if we breach this, we can certainly grab a trend day and run to that pivot. And oddly enough, I bet that's probably another box down. Let me overlap the box here. Actually, it's a little bit further than that pivot. It goes to the nearest quarter, so down here at 402.25-ish. And we breached our angular support, so now we've got to adjust our fan lines as well. And like I was saying, we need to wait for some of this to shake out before we have true fan lines. So these were not dead on. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Got too much stuff on the chart, and it's half of it's not locked, so it's like go to grab one, you grab 6 of the other. Alright, so if we split the difference here, we'll get a regression line. And we can split the subdivision down too. Let me change these to a different color. There we go. Now they're a little more opaque to our drawing here. So we've hit the bottom of measured move 1, bearish measured move, perfectly. We're on an angular here of a subdivision. There's our regression line for angular resistance versus angular support. We could make a reversal here.
Down, it's 1.16%.
SPY tagged, or Apple tagged that 200 beautifully. We're expecting some convergence here or some consolidation, and we'll either bounce back up to the pivot or make a bearish measured move on that down to the opening low. There's your nice bounce. Boom, 1 for 1.
Oh, shoot.
And there's a subdivision here, don't forget.
Oh, shoot. Hey, where's Bud? I saw Bud said that he blew up another account today.
Hey, bud, I made a bonehead mistake and blew up my eval account, so I got to start that over. Don't feel bad. It happens to me too.
Bud is a spy, you know?
Is it what? Don't connect to TradingView. Blah, blah. Get a free license with NinjaTrader and other platforms. Choice. Blah blah blah. Yep.
You doing another eval account?
Yeah, I'll probably do it again. If it doesn't, if I can't do it this time, if I make another dumb mistake or something, I will fund my own damn account.
I mean, it's not bad. I opened another another NinjaTrader account. Now I need to figure out how to connect my NinjaTrader and my Tradovate, so I can only trade in one platform.
Right.
It looks like Ninja is not running on my Mac because the version of Windows I have has no product key.
Right.
You know, so I need to get a product key. It's funny how Ninja is checking that and is not allowing it to launch. You know?
Right. That is weird.
Yeah, I'm like, you guys shouldn't be checking whether my system is legal or not.
Right.
Especially I'm running already. I mean, I try to run. I'm running a free VM from VMware. That's how I do rhythmic.
I like that.
I'm sure it's been called worse.
Yeah, us foreigners have a hard time pronouncing the TH
No.
sound,
We talk funny too.
Yep.
The TH sound sometimes catches me.
Oh,
Sorry.
we laugh together here.
Yes.
It's the American way. We're laughing with you, not at you.
Listen, anytime I make fun of anybody, I have 3 fingers pointing back at me.
Yep, that's right.
I got Colin jokes, I got West Virginia jokes, I got women jokes. I bring them on.
Yeah, I mean we try to keep it PG here, but occasionally it's okay to have a sense of humor. we have to
I
have
hope
a sense of
so.
humor as traders.
I need a
Otherwise,
safe space.
we will be miserable.
Right? I need a safe space here.
Yeah. Your safe space is not trading.
Right?
Bottom line. I mean,
Yeah,
this
if you
is
need safe spaces, don't be a trader.
we're far from the boiler room, but you know what? We got to have some thick skin in this game. You cannot trade without a sense of humor. You got to
There's
be able
no
to
doubt.
laugh at your mistakes and move on. You can't dwell on them. It will ruin you.
It sure will.
So it's kind of a lifestyle too, you know. I mean, you really got to think of it as a lifestyle. You know,
No doubt.
you can't go into the world without letting trading influence the way you act once you become a trader. It literally influences the way you live your life. Thus, it is a lifestyle. And you got to have thick skin to take your knocks and move on to your progress towards success.
Oh, damn, I just passed another one.
Nice work.
$53,020. Yeah,
Woohoo.
right?
So you're saying it's better to reset sooner than later, and then
Yes, you need all those days you can get.
gotcha.
Should have reset it yesterday. Well, yesterday you didn't realize until after hours. So,
Yeah,
because if you reset it right away, then you can just take one quick trade and that counts for a day.
right. And then
So,
will it be at the original fee or at the renewal fee?
So the way it works is whatever you signed up for that contract, which was the sale, right? So it
Mhm.
was like $18 for the first month and 36 renewing. Was that
Right.
right? Something like
Somewhere
that.
around
yeah,
there.
If you reset, you pay that reset fee, but the original contract still continues
Right.
until you pass it.
Gotcha.
And for me, my goal is always to pass it before I get charged that second month.
Right.
When they're that cheap, I
Yeah.
just lower the pressure because who cares if it takes me 3 months to pass it? It's $36 a month.
They're not clear
They're,
on what the reset fee is though. Is what my question is. So
they're half price reset fees right now. Normally they're like $90, I think. And so
okay.
they're half price right now
So
this
it's like
week or something like
45 or
that.
something like that for a reset fee.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's cheaper just to start a new account. Let me see.
No, because that sale's not going on anymore, I don't think. Let me double check that. Let me look at my we have a thread in our group over here that tracks all of the latest evals.
all right. Can we make it back? Can we make it back to 4172? We're compressing here a little bit.
Boom. Measure move.
And almost there.
Right to our division line, dude. How badass. And can we get the other half? We're reaching.
Oh, come on.
1 minute chart says we're likely to complete this reversal
Oh,
here.
there you are.
This is-
Boom, bingo.
This is your Wu-Tang pattern talking right there. That W with the funky looking W.
Mhm. The
Apple.
markets are made up of W's and M's.
Yep. And Apple smashed that pivot with a full 1 minute bar. Look at this. Blam.
So how would you trade the Wu Tang? Just waiting for the breakout?
Yep. So like any other double bottom, you got L1, H1, L2, and H1 is also your R1. So it's a resistance. So if you break resistance, you almost get a pop right to target one, usually. So target one would be the last control bar above resistance, which is going to be in this trend here. So you're looking at a 405.15 target on a break of 404.80. So if it breaks 404.80, that's your quick breakout trade on the double bottom. And then if it's going to continue, you'll usually get a measured move of the leg from L2 up to that resistance break. So you'll get looking like almost 6 points. So if we converge here, or we consolidate here, and we get a full leg up out of that, let's build a box.
Shit, missed that one again. I keep
Build
missing
a
my
box.
live sessions with my other group because of you guys, damn it.
Sorry.
They think I've disappeared altogether. I'm like, no, I'm still here. Sorry.
So if we get a full breakout and we get that full move, this is our price target. We just run a box. So we got a leg up here to 405.40, 245, somewhere in there. It can certainly fail, but we're looking for. We tested R1. We're coming back down to the mean to test support, and if we get the quick breakout here, it'll run right through resistance and probably finish the move to this box.
Gotcha.
Never forget to divide that box too, because you'll have a price target right in there as well. And
those
oddly enough, it lines right up with target 1 on the break. See? Control bar. Split the box. Same.
Yeah, I see that. Thanks.
Those weeks are just critical. Wow. It's like we're wicking bad.
14. Okay,
Coming off the
so
5-second 200, right to our resistance. This will be the make it or break it moment. Appreciate your time and input on the Apex stuff.
who, me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Definitely helpful. So if we get a fail, this is our whole leg, and we get a bear measure move, split the difference on this pivot. If we get a bull move out of this double bottom, and if it remains a double bottom reversal and not a bear flag, we get this target here. Kind of looking weak now. It's almost all the way back to L2.
I think we're gonna go back down to 4063.50, and then we're gonna bounce.
Yeah, it's threatening.
That's where we made the low, so we're
Again,
gonna.
bring it straight down all the way to 2,500.
Right?
Come
There you go.
Put all the shorts on.
Hey, boo-boo, I got a picnic basket for you.
Oh, look at that bounce! So quick, so
Rip a face off.
Dang.
Look at that, guys. Watch it.
Rip
dang. See,
Quick.
if you were short
Right
right
to-
there, you're screwed.
The top of that box. What'd I tell you?
Damn.
And we're through
Wow,
it
that-
even. But look at this. The
It
price
didn't even-
reacted to the top of that measured move like magic.
Didn't even give a chance to get in. Wow.
That was one of those things where you get long on the setup, and you can set a trailing stop on this just fine. You know, like probably 4 to 6 ticks away, and just run that.
Oh, it's too fast for me.
That was quick.
So I don't know how much.
I'm watching it. I missed it.
We had it all drawn. We knew what was up. We just needed the break, and that break was so stinking fast. But dude, it respected every drawing we got.
Yeah. See, that's why I need that Xbox controller, man.
Right.
I would have been.
Boop boop, done.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, I had to move a mouse to a screen to click. Like, oh my goodness.
Oh,
Get you a Steam Deck.
There you go. The 1 second chart had the break. I mean, it was clean. You could have got in right at like 40.69 and caught that.
All right, so we're gonna form, if we do here, we're gonna form another little pennant, and this
Yeah.
time a bull one.
Well, we're splitting the box right on this 1 minute candle. So I'm gonna zoom in on that sucker.
And there it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is.
And we'll either get a rip
There
down through
it
here,
is.
1 for 1, or we'll get a rip up to here for 1 for 1.
right to the downside. You know what? We might just be going for a two-sided day right back up to 4,100.
Let me see if I
So
can
I got
build
a
this fast enough.
4095 target.
A break here can run us to 4086.
Yep, I can see 4086. I got that marked there as well.
And a retrace could take us to 4072 for 50%. 100% would be right back down to 4067. I'm watching the 1 second chart for the break.
I'm about to go long right here.
I'm looking at that zero print at 4074.
Oops, I have a 5 second or 5 minute chart. What am I doing?
I'm
I
gonna-
can see 47. I can see 4074. That's
So this bar
there's a large number.
fits.
There's a large number there.
This bar fits from this line to this angular.
It's
Oh, we're breaking down.
4074. Yeah, right on the nose. That
Look for a
with a
retrace to
zero print,
4072.
and bam, there you go. Got it. 8 ticks.
Nice. It should finish 4072. It's almost there. Got 4072.25 on a wick. Close enough.
Those zero prints are just
Boom, we're bullish now. Back to the resistance, which will be 4076.
Geez, that was a big move up, wasn't it? Strong.
I don't know, that explosion right there kind of
fail.
tricked a little.
Definitely buyers here.
Nope,
Silly
we're
buyers.
testing support one more time. Hang on.
Honestly, I
We're-
don't need to trade.
We're hovering around the bottom of the box here, so either we snap it and run to this guy, or we run right back up to the top of the box. Looks like we're probably going to snap it.
Well, could have faded that big freaking 1 minute candle right there.
Yeah.
NQ and ES exactly the same breakout, exactly the same right now.
The world.
Who's going to take off first?
There we go. We're holding.
Dum 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 dum. Yep, there we go.
16 seconds. Watch that counter. 10.
9, 7,
5.
6,
We're
4,
getting a tweezer bottom in the bottom of the box.
2, 1. Bing. New candle.
We're in the middle of the middle.
New candle pushing.
Middle.
New candle pushing up. Yeah.
Boom, half the box is done. We're converging right here on the split.
Right. We're in.
Breakout target.
Still
4052 or sorry, 405.52 or 4080.
don't
Breakdown
fake
target.
me out. Oh no.
4035 or 4070. Damn, I'm getting my numbers mixed up.
Don't you hate
435.
What are you talking about, man?
I know, I'm just.
Like, where are you seeing 4035? I'm like,
Wait, what? Cool.
Where's 4035? Are you kidding
That's
me?
way down here.
Hey, as the new guy, now I can feel you guys' pain. I don't know what I'm talking.
Welcome anyway.
Oh man, what a bummer. Come on, push up. I need to get this account funded. There you go. Go. Oh, piece of crap.
Don't try too hard.
Ursa, was it the 90 save 90 code still active, or is it better to just reset?
Well, try it. I mean, let's see. Let's go. I will try it. How's that?
Let me see if I can
Let's
put one in.
Mhm.
Open a a new
All right,
tab.
and you're pushing up. Oh man, I didn't see that right there. Okay, never mind.
It did not give me the green.
Apparently I left a contract open on my demo account on Tradeovate, and I'm down like 15 grand or something.
Damn.
Yeah, I put a contract there, just, you know. I forgot to close it.
Oh, it is still good.
Is it really?
So yeah, it might be cheaper just to cancel that one and
Run a new one.
although I wouldn't necessarily cancel it, because they're just so damn cheap.
Yeah.
But
Oh, you can do this. You can do this. Yeah, there you go. Beautiful. I want to see 84. Go, go, go.
I want to see if they have a static drawdown.
Nah, there isn't, man. So as you make money up,
that does that.
you know, your drawdown goes up with it, and then if you lose, you're screwed.
So no, the Save 90 is only giving you a 50%.
All right, I'm only $200
gotcha.
away from getting funded. Go, go, go.
How many more days do you have?
I got plenty. I opened it on Monday.
Don't just stop trading it today. You're being silly.
Yeah, if it's already qualified, just stop trading it.
Or if it's that close, just divide that by the next 3 or 4 days and just take 2 or 3 tick trades next couple of days and fund it, and you're done.
I pulled a
Yeah,
bonehead. I went from ES contracts to MES contracts. I was running trailing stops on ES contracts. I closed my position and switched products. Forgot that I still had the the trailing stop orders on the screen ready to go, and it filled them, and they went short right at the bottom,
Right down, yeah.
and it ran against me. Before I caught it, it was ripped down like $1,800. That's what kind of annoys me is like on my personal Tradeovate account when I was running it, you could get a clue as to whether you're in a position because it would show you what your day margin and your initial margin was. It would give
You
you those
gotta
two
be able to
graphs.
see your open trades, and
Right.
that's why I have the Rhythmic open all the time.
Well, that's the thing is
I
that
don't
our
know how to do that with Tradeovate.
our trader didn't connect with Tradeovate, so it didn't tell me anything. So I had to go and look in
Well, our
Tradeovate.
trader isn't a Tradeovate. It's a Rhythmic product. So if you're not using Rhythmic data, our trader is not any good for you.
Right. What I ended up having to do is I had to go into reports to figure out if I was in a position or not. It didn't tell me what margin was used or what margin was outlaying. It didn't use any of that like it normally would in a regular Tradeovate account. So I was kind of bummed about that. I didn't know I was in a position until it was too late.
I see somebody in one of these other Apex groups that says Tradeovate was out of service. This was 23 hours ago.
They had a maintenance window.
Was it out?
They sent out an email. They sent out an email that they were going to do an overnight maintenance and they're going to be out for a couple of hours.
Oh,
So I don't know if you know, I mean, I deleted it, but it's, you know, it was there. They let people know that something's going to go down.
gotcha. But yeah, it was just kind of annoying. I had no idea what was going on until I went to
Gotta
reports.
make sure you flatten and clear all.
Yep.
It'll get you every time.
Payment. There is no limit on what you can buy. As long as you got money,
That's it.
you can do whatever you want to do. If you want to throw in $1 million in a trade, you can do $1 million. $1 million 1 point on the ES. You can make a heck load of money if you're using the right margin account.
Right.
Because if you're using TOS, your buying power is different. Like in TOS, your margin right now for the ES, I think is, let me check that. I got it open right here.
And don't they?
So the ES margin right now is $13,409.
Yeah, that's full margin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's pretty large there. But if you're using Trade-O-Vate, it's only $500.
Yep.
If you're using Ninja Trader, it's only $500. So you need to figure out which broker you're using and what margin you're paying.
And Optimus was actually $440 for a ES contract and $44 for an MES contract.
My AMP is 400, and you can get 300 if you want to pay a little
Yeah.
higher commission.
So I'm kind of on the fence here because if I just wait like a month and a half, I'd be able to just fund my own damn account and run my own account and not have to worry about this stupid trailing drawdown. So I'm kind of on the fence on whether I want to even bother resetting that account or not.
I mean, look at this way. You know,
Why
I feel that
you-
if you put in, you know, $2,000 on an account, that's plenty. That's plenty to trade.
Oh yeah,
You don't have to trade pre-market or whatnot, unless you're doing MES, you know, and M&Q.
right.
But if you're doing regular ES, $2,000 account is plenty, man. Don't
Well, when
need
I-
any more than that.
When I first traded my personal Trade-O-Vate account, I funded it with $500. While I was learning it, I drew that down to like $260, and then 6 weeks later, once I figured things out at the $260 level, in 6 weeks I had it at $18,000. Didn't take long.
Yep.
So I mean, it's doable with any amount. But I was looking into doing the prop fund thing. So I'm like, well, hell, if I could do that with my own leverage at like starting with a $500 bill, imagine what I could do with 10 or 20 accounts connected. You know, that was the whole draw to it.
I started my account with a
Federal Reserve
grand,
Board issues
I'm at
enforcement
29K
action
now.
with Perry County
Yeah.
Bancorping.
and I don't trade all the
And
time,
DuPoint
right?
State Bank.
Because I'm between calls and everything. I don't hold things long. I'm just like here and there, you know, a little bit at a time.
Just scalp it. That's my motto. When I'm there, I can scalp it. When I'm not there, I don't have to be anywhere. All right, we're accumulating finally. Let's extend this
But
box.
the learning I had on trading futures was when I blew that $70,000 account.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a
that
lot.
was my college learning for futures.
Yeah, that's a
You
hell
know,
of a.
I totally learned my lesson there, man. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna take a step back.
Still around after that. Oof.
You know?
Yeah,
Oh, I got into like trading paralysis. You know,
yeah. No, that's
I couldn't push a button. I could look at charts, but I couldn't push a button.
right.
You know, I'm like, what are you know, freaking
Yeah, well,
out.
that puts you in check, man. I mean, that really puts a strain on your.
I mean, $700 would put me in check. I don't need
Right.
70,000.
You see,
Yeah.
Now, you see, what kept bugging me on it was that I have a mortgage in one of my properties that's only $50K.
Right.
I said I could have paid that mortgage off and still had 20 grand in my pocket for, you know,
Right.
for doing other stuff. You know, that's what killed me for a while. So that's why I kind of had to take a break.
Of course. You better
Yeah.
take a break after that. You need to sit and think.
Yep.
I know.
I'm gonna
Well.
let the dog out real quick, but we got pretty much no news on for today except for Apple earnings. We've already made that bullish measured move out of the across the pivot here. So like you got leg 1, leg 2, that's all done. So the day trading is pretty much done on Apple and SPY from this point. Now it's likely to just consolidate sideways for a while before we get an actual break. Hanging right around that support line. I think let me go let the dog out. I'll come back and hang out till like 11:30 or so, but I think we're pretty much done with the good day trading for
Yeah,
the day.
we're going to turn around. We have single prints above us. I think we still could
Yeah,
go up
we're
100.
Yeah, we could easily bounce right up from this, but you know, and looking at that diamond pattern, man, it's pretty plain. We're likely to come back in this range. 50% retracement of yesterday and the day before is complete measured move. Puts SPY at about 410.80. That puts the ES like way up there. Let's see, liquidity. We've got a gap to like 40.95. Once we get through 40.80, so 15 points. And
so
we've got a
we didn't
Globex
have
high
an
of
H. We didn't have an H pattern that formed from yesterday's dump
no.
to the overnight session, right? we broke below that H.
Yeah, not on
And
the.
that's something that Sig was calling out the other day on the market updates chart. I
Yeah,
saw some of that. Yeah, he was calling out that H pattern, and I'm like, oh, that's exactly what's going on here.
well, here, look at Apple. There's your H pattern. Clean. We could see it go all the way
Yeah, look
back
at
to
that.
50%
Really
today.
doing the
We could
same
go to
thing.
167.60 easy from here. It's just a matter of we're going to probably wait till the middle of the day to start doing it. And if you just look at it the same as you would look at a double bottom, and double bottoms and H's are more or less the same thing when they do this. We get the higher low. So your R1 is right here at the top of this bar. Well, we're there. So if we break that, where's target one? Right up here, the 50% retracement line, more or less. So pretty simple trading. We're likely to get that bullish measured move out of Apple, but we've got to get through this resistance first, and it's likely to consolidate for a little while before it does.
Okay, bye.
And this is 7% of the S&P, so whatever this does, this will trail.
Yeah, I just posted on the market updates one right there.
Nice, thanks, man.
And so I don't know if you guys can hear it, but my little one is having a fit.
No, we don't hear it at all.
No. Oh, then this noise suppression thing I installed is pretty good.
Yeah, it does work good for Discord. Not so much for going out to YouTube though. So like, if you're out there on YouTube, you can definitely hear my dog yelling at me in the background. He wants to go out now, so I'll be right back. All right, dog is out. He'll yell at me to come back in about 5 minutes. He's a big goofball. All right, Apple just breaking that R1. Cool. Let's go back to the 5-minute chart.
All right, I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for
way.
everything. Good luck in the market.
You too, man. Thanks again for joining us. Always awesome to have you.
Take care.
Hopefully we get you into regular scalping mode and replace that income, man.
Well, I've been doing good the past couple of days, so I'm green.
Awesome.
4083. Come on. Oh, shoot.
Nailing
See,
it.
I didn't click fast enough. You
Yeah.
know,
Long there, and then it popped.
I didn't click fast enough. I knew it was gonna go right there.
We could see 4085 out of this next leg.
Oh yeah. So 4087 is. Let me see. What is this line supposed to be?
You can look at the volume profile on even on the 1-second chart. It stands right out in front of me. Above 4085, there is a liquidity gap all the way up to 4092.
So 4087 was the open of the daily. Was it last night's open?
I don't know.
Yeah, that was yesterday. Last night's open. So we had that little gap overnight all the way to 4095. So we closed at 4095 and then we open at 4087. Yeah, we open at 4087. So
Mick Corgi had a question.
we're going back. Yeah.
379.
Yeah, that math is right with the the percentage right here in the drawdown. So we're at 25 points below yesterday's close.
I don't know that
Yeah,
there's a
that's
soft
just-
limit on how many you can buy at once.
Yeah, I replied to her. I mean, there isn't, right?
Oh,
It's
look at that. Explosive measured movement.
oh crap.
That's a 3-legger. That's a 2-for-1 right there. Bam. Target met and blown away. Look at that
Yeah,
overshoot.
look at that. 49. We're going to 40.95, man.
I think we are.
Unbelievable. That would have funded my account if I had gone in. Damn it.
You can see that liquidity gap is right there. There's like a big window.
Steady as she goes, man. Steady as she goes.
That's it.
Maybe I'm just gonna fade this move.
We're going to
'cause we
test
broke
4085 again, and then we should see if this resumes. But that's the
We
top
saw
of
the
the.
zero print down here at 40. Let's see, we have 4083 and 4079. So we need
Yeah.
to base clean those up.
We got SPY
Right
back.
around the view app area right there.
SPY back in the liquidity zone. Split
Clean
that zone. Let's split the zone with a pivot.
Low volume now.
40680 is the middle of that booger right there.
That was the H pattern playing out.
Yep. Beautifully. All right, we're accumulated. We're back to that 4085. Now watch for the rest of this move. This gap, that liquidity gap that you're seeing on that screenshot I posted there, the whole middle goes all the way to 4092. It is very likely to split and finish that move. And that sticks SPY at about 40770. We got Apple right to the 5-minute 200, paused. We got a 2-for-1 out of that full leg from the bottom. Let's see it accumulate here a couple more 5-minute bars before we get loose. So I'm going to watch the 1 minute to see where we're at. So we got leg, leg, leg. Same with SPY, just a little choppier. I'm going to get some of this nasty off my chart real quick.
Oh man.
Since we know where those ranges are. In fact, I'm going to split this with a couple of liquidity zones. How about that? We have one here. Ah, it's doing it to me again, isn't it?
So we could dance around this view app a little bit, or just totally fade back down.
Well, we've got a gap range. There's a liquidity bar all the way up through here to the bottom of this zone. This zone's completed. We exceeded it a
So
little
if
bit,
we
but we're
do-
there.
If we do, I got a 40.69 target.
Yeah, for a base. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So far, we're holding that 4085 range, so this is one
So
last
that's-
test.
So that's the view app. That's the view app. We're at view app right now. We're just sitting. We're sitting at the view app.
Right.
Yeah. The question is, will, buyers agree to pay this view app price, or do they want a little lower so they can actually make some more money? Well,
They're threatening it. Don't threaten me with a good time. We got lots of buyers in here. You can see there's liquidity here. That's nice and dense on that volume profile from the 1 second chart I posted there. There we go. They're coming.
Oh, there you go. And Q took off first.
They're coming. They're gonna run it.
Yeah, they're gonna run.
Come on, don't fake out. We're at last resistance point here before breakout. 40, 80, 88.
Come on.
See ya.
Uh-oh.
We're above it. Come on.
Yep, we're going from we're only 20 points below yesterday's close.
They could test
So
4086
we're
here.
gonna try to do a red to green day.
There we go. Push. Push. Congratulations, it's a boy. Oh. Don't give up now.
Hey, anyone watch Sweet Tooth on Netflix?
Haven't watched that one yet. I
So
see there.
it's about this new race of hybrid animal and humans
Huh.
because of some kind of virus or something that is killing all the human race.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's like a thing straight out of a sci-fi, lab. Seriously.
Damn, it's knocking. There aren't really any sellers or buyers in that zone between 4088 and 4092. It's just wide open.
Yeah, we're above the 20 on the RTH though. According to Albrecht, we looks like we're forming a bullish pennant.
Mm-hmm. Damn, they're gonna keep testing that 4085 too, though, aren't they? Oh,
So if you look, we're just so close. You see that chart right there? We got the gap all the way up at 41.14 something.
Missed it by this much.
Whoa, somebody just dropped 50 contracts of ES right now. I don't know if they're closing their position or if they just bought in 50 contracts. As it another 11, another 8, 43. Oh yeah. I think somebody's getting ready for this thing to rip. Another 50. Yeah. Whoever it is loading this thing up.
Bless you.
that's another throat clear.
I
Sorry.
know. Can't help myself.
My allergies have been just playing hell with me this week. I'll take like a whatever allergy pill there is. It just doesn't have any effect on a week like this. And then if I take Benadryl, I go to sleep.
Yeah.
Have you tried Flonase?
Yeah, it helps for like if I'm having an allergy attack where like my nose won't stop running. But other than that, it still leaves me with like all the other allergy symptoms. So it's like, unless my nose is like a faucet, I don't need it. Doesn't do anything for me otherwise.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I figure if I allow myself to live with it long enough, eventually I'll adapt. It took me a good couple of years to adapt to Montana's allergy season, and after a while, it didn't affect me at all. And then move here, and it's
use
like,
any local honey?
oh yeah,
Whoa.
that's the
Told you
secret.
those zero prints, man. We had to go back and clear them up. So
Yep.
Mm,
we're done with
As soon as
that.
we
I
faded that
shorted
line,
that.
buy 'em.
There.
There's
Now,
that gap is still prevalent all the way to 40.92, but it's going to play in this area for a while first. Midday stuff, it's going to do this. It's going to
we gotta
consolidate.
get over 4088, and then we can run all the way up to 4100 because we have a whole slew of single prints up there.
Yep.
And that's probably the gap you're talking about.
Yep.
Was that from the overnight to the open? We opened down.
Yeah.
I don't always pay attention to gaps.
It's definitely there. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, we got to get there, and we got to get through the demand.
I just posted the mother bar moves right there.
We went all the way up to 40, 90, 90, 50.
All right, Apple, what do you got
So,
for us?
I
Anything?
just posted on the main chat the mother bar moves, and it so happens that it will meet the closing of the gap.
Okay.
Hey, what is going on here?
All right, let's go back to the pain zone on Apple real quick, and then I'm going to sign off. So when I say pain zone, it's the zone that you can expect the options to be at their extreme. So when I say that, it's where you can have the least risk for the most reward is at the edge of the pain zone. Comparatively, I do this with SPY 0 days as well, but this is a different scenario when it comes to an equity. So Apple is kind of going to be doing one of three things for earnings. Either it's flat and a nothing burger and it goes sideways and eats up data all through the month, or extremely bullish, runs a full third leg measured move all the way up to 195, or they have a horrible Q1 and it runs down to 40, 47, 40, 48. So if you get into that zone and you have an option strategy like a debit spread on both sides and condor that, you run the least risk for the most potential reward, and usually the reward on the winning side will erase the loss on the losing side no matter what in that zone at the edge. If you come in too tight after earnings, you're going to get volatility crush that's going to make those worthless anyway, and it will go nowhere even if the price does go towards it. You're just going to break even because you've already paid too much for the spread. So when I'm looking at these $5 wides, I'm looking at my ideal range for a $5 wide at the edge of the pain zone is going to be somewhere between 4 cents and 10 cents. Ideally, I like 6 to 8 cents per $5 spread in those ranges. So if I'm going to make a killing on those percentage-wise, that's where I'm looking. So I'm going to see if I can find something with a June 2nd expiration that'll play into that range. So what are we looking at?
See, if Apple dumps for earning, it's rigged, man.
Yeah.
Because I walk by the Apple store every day around my
Oh, yeah.
neighborhood where that place is packed every single day.
Yeah.
You know,
Corner
it's
on
like unbelievable.
So we're looking at like 28 cents from 140 to 145 at a June 2nd expiration. So that's a little outside of our safety zone for best return for the buck type of thing. So if this thing trends back up to the top of this box, that price will come down significantly, and we're looking to take advantage of the percentage swings. We're not expecting these to expire in the money. So if anything, we're looking to gain a advantage of the difference between the two options, the long and the short leg on each side. So let me see if I can find the top of the zone here. Looking at
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at
85 and 90, you're looking at, let me see here, about a 21 cent spread. Still a bit outside of where I'd like to be. So if towards the middle of the day, right around 12:30 or so, those start to fall into my range between like 6 and 8 cents a spread. I'll grab them. So I can set my limit orders in that range now, and if they don't fill, I don't have to care. I'm not missing out. I got plenty of other stuff to do. But if they do fill, cool. I'm in a great spot to ride the earnings. Damn, Robinhood's really pushing that rate return up on the idle cash.
What are they paying now?
Like 4.62%.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
That's really good.
They're trying to get people depositing, that's all.
Yes.
If you look at their equity, it's like, well, Let's go look at Hood real quick. The Redditors, or the army of apes, didn't like that when they got cut off from trading GameStop and stuff like that. So they've been beating the crap out of this in the media. They've been doing whatever they can to badmouth it. Well, like it or not, there's still investors here. And we're at a zone where if we touch like $8 again, and we're at 8.38 right now, we could see a wheel trade out of this. So I always keep my eye on that sucker.
Robinhood?
Yeah, the options equity is actually pretty good on that.
Really?
Not terrible. Let me go back into it. Hold on. At least it wasn't last month. Let's see. What's our natural yield about 2 weeks out?
We gonna push here? Are we gonna push here? Are we gonna push here? Push here, push here, push here.
So about a 10% natural 2-week yield. And if I go to June 2nd, the monthly yield at the money is let's see here, 18%. So that's not terrible. I mean, you're looking at a 50-cent wide range, but hey, that's still not bad. One strike out, you're looking at a little under 10% yield, so it's not great for the monthly natural 2 strikes out or 1 strike out, but at the money, it's got good yield, so like you could definitely swing it.
I got 90 cents on that TQQQ 8
Nice.
days out at 26.50.
That's awesome.
And it's at 93 right now. You
Very
might
cool.
push down a little, you might get $1 for a 8-day trade.
Sweet. My adjusted Mullen covered calls that I sold for 3 cents, I just bought them back for a penny, so that knocks my cost basis down to 2 cents a share from 4. Adjusted that 25 for 1. That's a 50-cent cost basis. I like that.
I might actually put an order on here just in case we get a wild push down. I'll do 26 for $1. Put a limit order in there.
They won't let me sell new contracts, the bums. Oh well. Alright, well, I'm going to keep an eye on Apple, and I'm also looking at AMD too. Like I said, it's going to kind of ride the coattails of tech. And AMD is at a nice buying point, kind of. So that's made a 2 for 1. Top side is 100. Bottom side is
Early today.
70. So let's see if I can find a good spread on AMD to ride through Apple's earnings.
That count is good. Done. Stick a fork in it. Now I have to make sure.
And you'd have to go too far out of the money for that. What about May 19th? There's the sweet spot, 73.72 is 7 cents. What's a 73.71? 12 cents. You'd have to go $2 wide on AMD to get anywhere. Could probably get a 70.72 for around 8 cents later on today on the put side. And then the call side, and I'm looking at May 19th expiration. Call side would be right around 90 to 100, somewhere in there. Let me see. It's got 93.95 or 94.96 would be a good spread on that. 94.96 is already at 8 cents, so that's reasonable, but that would be expecting AMD to get damn close to 100 in a week or less. So it's on the fringe of the pain zone, so it's like your probability isn't as great, but if tech moves with Apple like it typically does, you've got a pretty good shot of getting a decent percentage return, but you've got to be ready to take it when it comes. I might see about getting a spread on AMD later. All right, well, anyway, I'm going to sign off and call it a day for now.
Sounds like a plan.
I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great one.
See ya.